It's also just funny to see John Mulaney play a Jewish kid when in all of his stand-ups he just talks about how he was raised in a very Catholic family.
But then again, his wife is
What was
Jewish,
it?
isn't she?
Yeah, so he could say these things.
I mean, he made a very clear point in his stand-up about
the beginning of the show. I see the time on the clock. I could see that you're going on your little tangent to be like, hello, welcome to the AWKWARDcast.
I have no idea what you mean. And with this, hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDcast. ANY and Keyframe wonder about random drivel. And today with us, I believe for the first time in the third season, isn't it? Have you been on with us this year already, Lauren?
Yeah, actually. So
okay, so
she was one of our first guests this season.
But yeah, with already
reigning champ.
Yeah, with already being in October, it still has been like over half a year. It has been forever. So welcome back, the Abbey Roadie. And to help all the people with Alzheimer's, except for me, out. Who are you? What do you do? And why should people care? And I have goddammit, I have so much prepared, but not your page.
An Alzheimer's joke. Great, Max. Cool.
Sorry.
Well, I'm Keyframe's sister from another mister, artist, animator, character designer, illustrator, social media extraordinaire. No, I'm just kidding on that part. I wish. But anyway, there's my Twitter, which I go on a lot more than anything else.
Subscribe. No, follow. Follow is
look at my pony art. Follow my pony art. While the show's still around.
You should have non-pony stuff somewhere as well, shouldn't you? What is
it? It's like I have my... there's a lot of stuff. I worked in merchandising and stuff. So there's a lot of t-shirts, dresses, a lot of stuff, licensed merchandise.
She worked with
Disney, Warner Brothers, DreamWorks, Universal, Sanrio. There's a whole bunch of products I've like.
Did you make a Gretzko art? Did you draw Hyena Boy?
That was the only one I didn't get to touch because I was in kids, not young adult. So
also I just.
Oh my god, I love a Gretzko though. I would have been so happy to work on that. So.
Also, something to give credit for the original design of my fursona.
Ah, there you go. Yes, that was, oh my god, from ages ago. Wow.
It was the beginning of Lauren's descent into ferdom.
Exactly.
And soon, slowly, we will chip away the normie exterior and to reveal the fursona that's within.
Also, I have heard rumors that
Abby's not good enough for you.
Also,
that's a pony.
I heard rumors that you actually do have a fursona, Abby.
Actually, I like maybe an old one, maybe. It was when I was into Lion King, and I had a lioness. My original artist name, Chrissy was here to see it. I was Lonnie Lioness on DeviantArt before I changed over to Abbey Roadie.
Didn't you sketch out a persona that was a red panda though, and then you had that rabbit that you drew before?
That was a hot 2 seconds. The red panda was a hot 2 seconds.
It's a hot second that will come back, and then it'll become a hot minute, and then a hot hour, and then a hot decade, and then you'll be like us.
Yeah, see, the thing is, there's a lot. It's like
furry.
It's trying to nail down what really fits me. But I mean, I guess it's just like anybody would joke, cute animal. Just have her be a cute animal. Just pick one. Like
no, you're a bird.
Yeah, see, I like birds, so...
Yeah, just be a bird sona.
A burb.
You're a burb sona. Be an Ari.
It's just like what I'm trying to figure out. Like
chat during the cast. Tweet at Abby. During the cast, tweet at Abby. Animals that you think she would like.
You said tweet the bird.
Okay, please go on about what's been going on in your life so I can ignore you for the rest of the cast. Christ.
I believe this question was for you, Abby. I mean...
what's been going on in your life, sissy?
You have potentially the most interesting stuff because we have to answer this question every week and we have, on average, not very eventful lives. I mean, I have something this week and this is impressive enough.
Yeah, to give context, he has more stuff to talk about this week than I do, which the world is going to blow up.
I don't know how much I can say of what has been going on. Maybe I can give a tiny little hint of what I've been working on because it's work, so there's details I can't share that are NDA.
Okay, just
but
say,
I can
say what you can say.
So I can say that there is a guy I'm working with now who is on our, well, I guess not really on our team, but working with our team. And he rhymes with...
That is one way to handle an NDA.
Do I know what you're talking about?
Don't get yourself...
Dutch Blartman. He rhymes with Dutch Blartman.
Okay, yeah. Cool. You're working with Paul Blart.
Yes. We're working on Paul Blart 3.
Oh,
the
man. It's about time. Your true calling. Really shitty pratfall fat cop movies.
Because Kevin James is the icon of our time.
Yeah. But what about other stuff? Have you been working on anything personal? Did you go to anything fun recently, or have you been cooped up in your room alone in the dark eating crackers? Can't really.
I have long freaking days, 5 days a week, and then I pass out on the weekends. But anyway, I guess like in terms of personal stuff, just like I like being able to get back into when you don't have time to draw for yourself. Any little time that you do have to draw for yourself is treasured, and I can say, which it would segue into what I'd like to be able to talk about this week, is I've been trying to make a Has-Been Hotel OC. I haven't made an OC for anything in ages, okay? Ages. And I'm actually, like, on this, like, quest to design a character. It's taking me so long to figure out, like, what works.
But your owl girl that you showed me was really cute.
No, thank you. Like, I'm working on that same direction, but I'm, like, where's the book? I'm like trying to.
You messaged me the pictures. I could just put them in the chat.
Yeah, there's some of them, but I made more.
Oh, well, I'll send Max the ones that you sent me, so that way we have some clear visual aid. I just gotta move past all of our conversation about Mr. Beast that we had in chat last night.
Yeah, I guess to give context, I've been trying to go with like a harpy type demon character. So, and then owls, I love owls, and I thought, hey, that's like usually a pretty symbolic animal of, you know, they either say it's death or change when an owl shows up. So I'm like, oh, what better bird to use? Yep, and then, there they, like, that was one concept I was trying to play with, and I'm like, trying to, like, nail it, and, there's another,
nail it.
Yeah, there's another one coming up, and, I was like, get the whoop. Yeah, everyone going whoop. But yeah, I was like, I think there was like another one I was trying to, I don't know, can you see well enough on here? I was trying to work on character dynamic too. Just.
Nice. I don't trust you, dear boy.
Good, you shouldn't. And then there was this one I feel like is nailing it more towards what I was trying to go for, which is, hold my tiny sketchbook, which is she's a little bit more petite, so I was trying to go with like something that's a mix between like a tawny owl and a barn owl. Just she's like
cute.
Yeah, thank you. I'm thinking she's like definitely more the direction of where I want to go with her. And I'm even
slowly her legs just became more pants made of feathers.
Yeah, basically. Because I was even thinking like of like owl legs when you think of like even like snow owls, they look like they freaking have like big fluffy pants on, like the feathers go all the way to their talons, and so I almost wanted to play with that kind of thing. So yeah, no research has been going into this, trust me. Every freaking detail, but I think that's one of the fun things about character design. Again, it goes back into my trade, is being able to there it is. Being able to like delve into something entirely new.
But it's actually true with Has-Been Hotel, which has its very unique and recognizable style, and with the setting of hell and with all the demons, this is actually, I'm probably the last one on the planet who realizes that this is great OC potential. But yeah, I believe since the Gem Sona, I have not done any fandom related sonas.
Watch as he makes a hell ferret.
Hell ferret. Actually, the coloration, like it would be some tweaking. It would be a pretty easy adjustment.
Beware my stubby legs of doom.
I mean, as if I would be even close enough to doing a character design when this is currently the best I can do. As in, literally, because when did I do it? I did it actually today, didn't I? God, I have no sensation of time anymore.
You are a dog. You have no concept of time.
It's true.
Today has been going on for years.
It's been 82 years, Gaz. It's been 2
years.
It's been 2 days.
But yeah,
well, Max actually has stuff to talk about. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I mean, first of all, starting maybe with a point that was so weird. So from last week, where I barely had any media to talk about, and what did I? Oh yeah, actually, I talked about my own New That Stupid video because I was like, well, I should promote it, and on the other hand, because they come out rare enough, and on the other hand, like there was actually interesting stuff going on, but I also didn't have anything to talk about. Now, this week I had so many media that I basically had to pick. So to give a short summary, I finally finished another audiobook, which is Radical Honesty from Brett Blanton, read by himself. I don't know. I mean, from all the audiobooks I had so far, this was the first one where I constantly had to force myself to stay focused on it and not let my thoughts drift and think about stuff. It's weird. I mean, one thing that I find is simply funny about it, that it has a very, see what I'm doing there, honest presentation. Because he is reading it himself, I assume he did record it himself without any professional assistance. So he has bloopers in it, he has double takes from one cut to the next, the audio levels fluctuate, you have background noise, you hear him put down his mark. It's charmingly honest given what the topic is, but at the end of the day it doesn't really help with staying focused. And while he also gives a very self-conscious opening about how he will anger people and how he is very unprofessional about it, he also does a lot of very, very sometimes he goes into practical stuff. I mean, he's a psychoanalyst or psychotherapist, whatever, but other times he is just like going all into his own vocabulary that he invented to describe concepts he came up with, and it's super abstract, and you are like, this is not helping. So maybe skip. Maybe skip that one. In case, I mean, the topic itself, Radical Honesty, is an interesting one, but this book was like, it was okay, but yeah. Then I also made it to the cinema because we had a national holiday on Thursday.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, so I went and
saw... Oh, this one. I've been wanting to see this one. How was it?
It was good. I mean, nothing to write home about, which is why it's not my official media this week. It's good. Okay. I mean, it's a good Will Smith in both roles. It's once again another shining example of how good de-aging technology has become. I mean, if you think back to X-Men Wolverine, where you have this de-aged Patrick Stewart at the end, where you are like, oh, yeah, I didn't even look real anymore. Exactly. And then you had like this. Everybody kept praising Captain Marvel for the de-aging on Samuel L. Jackson, which was admittedly brilliant. But here, they, apparently, I'm not sure if they use the same technology or how they did it, but yeah, young Will Smith, every now and then during the movie, I started like super hyper focusing on his eyebrows to see if the eyebrows in both characters are the same and if it is really Will Smith in both roles, and if they didn't throw in Jaden Smith after all or something. I mean, not that Jaden could have played this well, but still, I was like, the fuck? Is it really? Because the de-aging is brilliant. And I mean, the
deep face technology has gotten insane.
And even old Will Smith, unlike old Samuel Jackson in Captain Marvel, old Will Smith still seems to be very fit because he is like doing good in the movie. It was good. It was a good action flick. I mean, the the trailer. I mean, even this fucking poster, the trailer especially, gives the big twist that happens a third into the movie, gives it away already. Like, fuck marketing nowadays. It's so shitty. I mean, on the one hand, you need to have a good tease to know why you want to watch it. But on the other hand, they gave away too much. They showed young Will Smith's reaction to other characters. I will not repeat the spoilers, but you see his very explicit reaction, so you literally know what's going on. It's like...
It ruins everything, the whole aspect of surprise.
Yeah. So it's... But then again, the fun thing is that there's this entire Jiminy corporation. But... young Will Smith is only one project. Besides that, they are just a military mercenary force. Just guys who run around in big suits, and they are called the Gimini Corporation. Like, for no reason at this point. Like, why would you... I mean, here it's like, ooh, Gimini, twin, Zodiac, yada yada. And then in the movie, it's like, the Gimini Corporation. Like, is there anything more going on there? I wonder. Anyways, now to the probable highlight of the week. The blue one, the blue one in the chat, the Denim Ninja, was celebrating her birthday on Friday, and she celebrated it with playing a bit of a Call of Cthulhu with a few friends via Skype, and I was one of them. And so this was and DMing the first time on her end, and for me this was like first time after ages getting back into pen and paper. I actually did play a very loose cannon pen and paper during my time at boarding school. We had like a few boxes flying around, and we were meeting very regularly and playing after school and on the weekends and shit. But as I just mentioned on Friday when we played, like, I was DM most of the time and stuff, but I never read a single rule book, so I was that shitty of a DM. Exactly. I got most of my knowledge either told or by osmosis. But so for me it was like, and we played, who was there? So a British Ninja, an Emerald, and Kichi, who are all three very experienced role players. I'm not even sure in how many campaigns they all three are, but they have been in very long campaigns, play a lot of campaigns, and so I got completely out role played. Like I was not just out role played. I had a really hard time getting into role playing. I was just super happy that I picked a character who was very introverted and holding back anyways, while British Ninja came in and was like, oh golly gee, and he was playing Mr. Rogers, who is Mr. Rogers.
That sounds like a character British would play.
Exactly.
Ironically, the time I did play with him, he was like this super... He kind of acted like you, like, in all honesty. Like, his character, Warwick, in the campaign we did was just kind of like an assassin that constantly shadow stepped and liked poisoning people. And was like, you don't want to cause any trouble. You just want to get rid of the problem. But, like, that kind of thing. But
my character is not that at all. So I am super sucky at my own character. I'm not super sucky. It's a very quiet character, and I always try to get my word in, but then you have Ninja, who is like very strong and confident in his acting, because that's probably the part that I'm not confident in role acting. I'm confident right now in a conversation. Emerald, also a very Scottish character who is very assertive and always is talking about Betsy, his gun, and also very strong. And Kichi, very like, got it. No, not again, golly gee. But very southern, a very brisk,
like a southern lady. Belle kind of thing, or
I guess. Yeah, but very
it's
like in your face.
It's so amazing to hear, because I think like I said, the campaign we did was like, I think the first time that British and Kichi did D&D, and now seeing them like be fully into it and like being this confident, it's like look at the character development. My babies have grown up.
British Ninja didn't even leave character when talking out of character.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Doesn't it?
It's almost like British is the Red Spy for some reason.
Rolling it back into pony stuff. But Abby does.
But yeah.
But yeah, besides the problem with role playing, did you have fun?
I had fun for sure. After we had to wait for over an hour for everybody to arrive, because the people who did not mix up the time mixed up the entire week.
Oh God.
So
how do you do that?
I know. Emerald and Kichi Emerald and Kichi both thought it was an hour later. Because 1 p.m. Mountain Time is very hard for a Californian person to translate.
It's literally an hour later. I wasn't even there and I knew the time. I told Kichi the time of the thing when it was happening. The day before.
And British Ninja planned to be there next week.
Oh God.
I'm sorry, Denim, on behalf of them. I wasn't even there and I knew this stuff more than them. How does that work?
I mean, we would have loved to have you, but you were indisposed. So.
Well, yeah. Still, I remember, and just saying, I got Denim and Ninja Pikachu, so I got to get out of jail free card.
No, but yeah. Call of Cthulhu, very interesting, very fun. I also got to experience Roll20. Which is
that site can be fun and frustrating depending on how good your internet is.
I guess so. But yeah, very fun. We made it through the first day, so we did really make it very far. So we.
I mean, that sounds like essentially you did a one shot.
No, we want to continue. We
cool.
barely got the adventure started, and we all agreed we want to do more of that. So hopefully more. But yeah. This was my highlight of the week. So I mean, you already announced that.
Yeah, so I want to go. I'm going to incorporate it into my week to be able to squeeze in more medias. Because
I might have done the same thing while you were.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, dearie. When I was walking in and out of this, because I just kept checking to make sure my computer was fine, because this computer tends to go to sleep. I could see through the mirror back there what's happening on screen, and I just saw movie posters, and I was like, I thought he was only going to talk about Cthulhu this week. What movie is that? Is that Will Smith one?
Yes, it was a Will Smith one.
I am nearsighted, so I take that as an achievement that I was able to spot it, or an achievement of the graphic designer. I don't know. But no, I guess I need to get... No, you can use your Googling fingers.
Yeah.
So...
Panic.
The first one I want to talk about is something that Max introduced me to. You know Max.
What did I do this time?
This nice guy down here.
Oh, I know which one.
Uh-oh.
I believe so.
Is
it the British one from the 80s? Oh, yes.
Okay, so let me explain some context, because the context and history of this thing is much more interesting than the thing itself. So me and Max have a little thing on Mondays where we get together and we binge watch a bunch of stuff. It's our time together. It's nice. And, we usually watch good things like Final Space, which I do want to touch upon. I'm not because I want to. It's been out for 2 weeks. It's not a spoilery thing. Final Space, and we've been watching Mau Mau, and when we finally find a site that has the episodes in the right order, we'll continue watching Ladybug and all this stuff. It's cool. And then just in the middle, while we were taking a quick break from Mau Mau, Max brings up something, being like, hey, have you heard of The Worst Witch? I was like, what are you talking about? And he links me this Netflix series called The Worst Witch, and I watched the trailer, and he's like, doesn't this look like the most rip-off Harry Potter shit? And I was looking at the trailer and I was like, oh God, it's like if Harry Potter was done by the Disney Channel. He's like, yeah, it does. And then I clicked.
Like it would be, just by the splash art.
Yeah, and then I looked at it and I was like, wait, this show has 3 seasons? And like, there's like 20 episodes per season too. Or like 15 episodes per season. And then I was like, okay, I gotta look this up. It's because it said based on children's book. So then I looked up the children's book.
And the twist comes.
The first Worst Witch book was from 1974. This isn't the ripoff!
This is original. Harry Potter is the ripoff.
Like, this is like a mix of Harry Potter and Matilda, both of which came after The Worst Witch. And also, The Worst Witch is apparently very popular. Because this is a book series that has like, I think 9 books. And the last book, the most recent book was published last year. This had a TV movie and another TV series that aired in like the 90s. This is just the most recent installment.
But yeah, guys, tell me that this does not look like Harry Potter.
And Matilda.
And a little bit of green screening.
And a little bit of Little Witch Academy. Like, you think it steals so much. But... they're wearing fucking Hufflepuff colors.
That's too close for comfort.
That's just a prettier version of their robes.
But then again,
even the corridors look the same, and the castle looks the same. This is really bothering me.
I know, right?
It's the Goblet of Fire!
This is really bothering me.
But this is a fucking original.
Well, I mean, like, obviously they probably stole aesthetic stuff from the movies, obviously, but still, like, I was just... Max can probably attest, hearing me freak out as I discovered more and more was probably more entertaining than anything from the show. Because he was discovering this stuff in time with me. Yes. And he was like, well, I guess you're going to watch this now, aren't you? And I was like, why would I watch something bad? Because it's you. And I was like, wait.
I'm going to stand by this. I'm going to stand by the fact that I'm not only wearing a Hufflepuff shirt, but I am wearing my Hufflepuff scarf, and I stand by it.
Damn it, and I don't wear my Slytherin shirt this week.
And I don't have my Slytherin shirt.
Sorry.
I mean, no, these colors are Ravenclaw. Damn it. No, I'm not a Raven. Funny enough, the fucking Pottermore tests and stuff where you find your house. Oh yeah. You're totally a Slytherin, Maxie.
I have a Slytherin.
It's funny. Brett tested it, and he got Ravenclaw. So you got Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor. Yeah. I was there when you took that test, Max. You're just a loyal, nice person. But I'm the thing was, so I got through, I think, most of the first season of The Worst Witch. It is not a bingeable show. I'm going to continue watching it because I want to make this a full media. Because I want to just put out the theory of why. Why has this been funded for 3 seasons? And I hear no denial of there probably being a 4th.
So you keep us posted on your progress.
This is the first I've ever heard of it.
Yeah. Yes. I only saw the trailer on Netflix pop up literally this Monday. By coincidence, I was like, wow, this looks like some Harry Potter shit. Rip-off, check this out. And then we went down the rabbit hole. But yeah, you keep us posted about your progress, Keyframe. And once you have finished the entire show, we and the viewers will make sure that you make an entire video about it on your channel, and you go like apeshit.
You know that one profile pic that I have of my OC that had your OC with the like face and mine with the that is just going to be the only avatar just moving up and down the entire video.
And it will be a 1.5 hour video essay.
What's that one that they meme on? The Worst Witch is garbage, and here's why. But no, besides that, I've also watched a show that I was meaning to watch more episodes of. Was the Netflix run of Mystery Science Theater, specifically the whole Gauntlet season.
Are you finally going through the Gauntlet, or are you starting it?
I am like, I think 2/3 of the way through, because it's like 9 episodes, right? I think I'm on episode 5.
Yeah, because I, like a fool, binged the whole thing in one go.
You can't do that.
Hey, Keyframe. Hey,
I don't recommend it
because
I'm not looking at it, Max. I'm talking about Mystery Science Theater right now.
Oh, I have not read that one yet.
Yeah, it's Mystery Science Theater: The Gauntlet. And I don't have a lot to say on it, except I do like the new human. What's his name?
I love Jonah. Jonah's great.
Jonah's great. He's probably one of my favorites of the whole franchise, because some of them haven't been great. And I'm also Frozen.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
It is Frozen. Oh dear.
Oh, this really just now happened. Where are you? But yeah, keep talking. I unfreeze you in
the
meantime.
I like Jonah. The voice actors for Crow and Tom Servo are pretty okay. My only problem, and of course Patton Oswalt and Felicia Day are lovely. My only real problem is that they're too fast with their riffing. Like, as soon as they have one joke, they... I mean, the pencil drawing we use for the promo is you with Tom Servo.
Not wrong.
But no, like,
I
I understand being snappy and like having one joke, if it doesn't hit, you have one right after. That's fine. It's the thing that the jokes there's no rest in between, so you can't process the joke that came before. And it's just kind of like overwhelming, but it's okay. Okay, I have one more, and then I go to my actual media. That's only because I wanted to talk about something good. And we're going on a spectrum from worst witch to the good thing. And here's the second good thing, which I was surprised that turned out good, is a show called Raising Dion that just premiered on Netflix. And I messaged both of these people being like, I'm so confused about this show. And it's a new...
It's based on a comic, could this be?
Yes, that's it.
Because the first thing I see when...
It is based off a comic book.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is, like, Raising Dion is a 9-episode show on Netflix about this kid, this, like, 7-8-year-old kid named Dion who suddenly starts to get powers. Teleportation, conducting energy, can make things float with his mind, so on and so forth. Yeah, there's little Dion. And I was just intrigued by the concept. I never read the comic book before. I think it's like an indie comic, but like I watched it, and the first episode's not good. It's so exposition heavy, and they make the mom not likable. Like I know that they're trying to like put it through the lens of raising a parent as a single kid while the kid has superpowers, kind of like, you know, what if Clark Kent was raised by a single parent kind of thing. But they make her from likable, well-meaning to doesn't know how to parent very quickly. But like, I wanted to watch the show because 2 of the main actors in it is Jason Ritter, otherwise known as Dipper from Gravity Falls, and Michael B. Jordan, aka Killmonger from Black Panther, who are the best characters in this show. Jason Ritter is fantastic, and he plays an engineer who was Michael B. Jordan's friend, who helps Dion and the mom. I can't remember the mom's name. That shows how much I liked her. And the kid actors are actually all really good. Dion's a really good actor. He has a friend named Esperanza, who's a girl in a wheelchair who's played by an actual girl with brittle bone disease, and she's like super sassy, and I really like her. She's cool. I'm like, hooray, because she's never acted before. She's just like, she was apparently like an open audition kid, and she's good. And the effects are actually really good for a Netflix series with superpowers, especially for a character whose main power is generating energy.
I mean, I have watched Titans. I know how shitty it can look.
This is better than Titans. There's only one effect in there that I don't particularly think was good, which was from the first episode where he makes a bowl of cereal float. And I only blame that because making CGI like liquid, like milk, and have it frozen and not look weird it is hard unless you have a big budget. Liquid effects are not easy. So I don't hold that against them. It's uphill from there. And that's the best way to describe this show, is uphill from there. Because after the first 1 or 2 episodes, which were and okay, it really kicks into gear and you like it, because it's not just, getting used to him having powers. It's actually, why does he have it? And it goes into, Michael B. Jordan's character is dead. That's not a secret. That happened. That's explained. That happened prior to the show's opening, and like, why does he have powers and all this? And Jason Ritter's character becomes more of a focus. And let me just say, I'm not going to give any spoilers. I really think you should watch this. But there was a moment in the show near the end that made me go, oh, holy shit, like saying it out loud, and it involves Jason Ritter's character. Like a completely unexpected thing. So I actually do recommend people watching this show. Just don't give up after the first 2 episodes like I was tempted to, because then you'll miss out on something good. But now something actually really good. It's called The Last... This is my media. We're now in the media section.
So we're going to talk about this, The Last Kids on Earth?
Yes! I've been messaging my friends, aka these two, being like, if you have an hour to kill, watch this. It's so good. And yes, I'm about to gush about The Last Kids on Earth, which is a Netflix series. You might not think it's a series. You might think it's a movie because there's only 1 episode out that's an hour. No, they're just planning on making each episode an hour, because each episode is based off one of the books, because it's based off a book series that is 5 books long. And the main plot of the show is the main character is Jack, the little brunette big-nosed kid in the middle who looks like the teenage version of the kid guy from Paperman.
Also, I just want to point out, they really captured the art style of the book.
Yeah, like me and Lauren actually had a discussion about this, because apparently her boss was like, I'm not impressed with the animation. They made the character design softer. It's like, yeah, you kind of have to do that for animation, my dude.
Yeah, but it's like I think like the monster design is great, and the environments look really nice, and given that this is an hour long, which is freaking almost unheard of for an animated show that's animated like this. I think it's like incredibly impressive. You got to do what you got to do with the budget you're given.
Yeah, and the thing is, even though the art style looks softer like a book or a kid show, they do a lot of cool action. There's like car chases and monster fights and banging around zombies and everything. All in the first episode. It's fun. But yeah, the basic synopsis of the world is Jack is this kid who is in day like 43 after the apocalypse struck, where just randomly these portals emerged from the sky and these monsters jumped down, and suddenly there was like a zombie virus and everything, and it's just him surviving because his foster family basically abandoned him. So he is just surviving by himself in the treehouse. And then he finds that he has other friends still alive, like Quint, his nerdy best friend, that one, Dirk, who used to be their bully, and June, who he has a crush on. And yeah, it's just them surviving and trying to make the best of a really, really bad situation. And it's such a charming show. And it doesn't shy away from the fact of, oh shit, this is the apocalypse. Like, because they do have moments where they turn down the whole like comedy aspect and kind of be like, man, the world ended. Do you think, because some of them don't even know if their parents are still alive, like Quince's family was on a cruise when everything happened, and they don't know if this hit the whole world or just their city. And like it's and so they kind of like there's one scene. It's not a spoiler scene. There's barely any spoilers I could say about this.
I can't spoiler.
Fine.
Sorry.
Jack goes to get gas for their car because they made a souped up machine called Big Betty that has like weapons and shit on it. And he goes to get gas, and he finds a car that's at the gas station, and there's like a little like postcard from a family, and he sees like the family, but there's no one there, and he's just like, man, they do look happy, even though they're all probably zombified right now, because he never had a family. Like, he explains at the beginning, he's been through dozens of foster homes, and this is the first time he actually feels like he has a family.
Aww.
Like, it's actually a very, I didn't go in with really high expectations, because I was like, I didn't know what to expect. And I was like, holy shit, I'm really into this. Like, I was so invested, and I know that they're releasing episodes in term, which I'm perfectly fine with, since they're all probably going to be an hour long. And from what I've read, they are very faithful to the books. And they don't cut out a lot because they extended the time of the episodes. So I'm willing to do the give and take for that.
Oh boy,
so,
what do we have here?
They are based on books.
No, but they're also on Audible. That's a... Yeah,
so, if you want to listen to the books first, do that, because they all fight one specific monster per book, and that's like that monster in the background is the monster of the week that episode. Well, monster of the week, and there's like, the feeling that there's something more coming. But yeah, my favorite character is Jack. He's a charming boy. He reminds me of someone I know, but like, he reminds me of someone I know, and I think because I mean, like, at the same time of the zombie apocalypse, he's like playing video games and eating junk food. He's so adorable. I love him. But yeah, I genuinely recommend this. If you're going to take a Keyframe recommendation, just this. Yeah. Don't do the stupid thing that I'm doing and watching the worst witch out of masochism. Watch this.
Well, Abby, you want to go next?
Yeah, see, the thing is, I'm like, when we're all talking about all this different media, and I'm just like, cool, I don't have time during the week to really watch anything new, but I do try to keep my eye on media of all sorts, and so, like, if there's anything in gaming, I'll try and keep my eye on that. And so, I guess what we could talk about, because I know I'm, like, hoping to, like, basically get it myself, how about we talk about the honkening, we brace ourselves for the goosening. We have called. Let's talk about the Untitled Goose Game.
The what?
The Untitled Goose Game. It's literally called the Untitled Goose Game. Have any of you heard of it?
Believe we already got this record. Yes, I believe we actually got a recommendation in our server in Gaming in Ties to. Oops, this is the wrong one. No, get me out of here.
It's literally titled Untitled Goose Game.
It's literally called Untitled Goose Game. Your premise here, with a great art style, by the way, is you are a goose and you are terrorizing a village while achieving your own objectives. So, it's one of the cutest games I've ever seen.
Of course you like it. It has a bird in it.
Well, I mean, who doesn't love the fact that you can honk at everyone that you see, and you can like
evil.
So what more fun is it to be the one that traumatizes a bunch of people? It's literally you're going around this like little European village, and you're going around and just like trying to meet little goals in game, and it's not a long game, but so maybe they'll add more to it. I'm hoping they do, but with what everything is seen in like the gameplay, even what you can see in the window there, is basically you have to figure out, it's almost like a puzzle solving game. In order to meet certain objectives, what do you have to do to get to that? And if like, I have to trick the guy I have to trick the farmer into walking over to the garden so I can spray him with the hose in order to get him wet. And then getting him wet achieves another goal. So it's like that kind of thing. And you're doing it all as a little goose waddling around and honking at people.
This isn't a goose. This is the Antichrist.
So it's like, I think it was one of them, when I first heard about it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm down for a game like this, just because it's like it's not a complicated premise, and it's like something that I can see. It would have a lot of appeal, not just in like it's kind of a soft art style. It almost looks like it has something reminiscent to me of like if you think of those like in-flight movie, the in-flight safety package.
Yeah, it does. It looks like one of those things of how to fucking put on a light vest.
It seems like an instruction manual, like, way of illustrating a world, and I actually find that incredibly charming because it makes it simple, but you get what's going on, and it defines a game. So I mean,
I appreciate the developer's name or the publisher's name being House.
Yes, there's also that. And so I'd like to see more with whether it's this game or if they develop it from here, but House, good job on developing basically a game where I'm laughing the entire time I'm like seeing all of this.
They need to just make this a franchise of Untitled Goose Game, Untitled Ferret Simulator, Untitled...
Yeah, I'm like, it's just Untitled
series. You can't put Duck Game. Adult Swim already has Duck Game. Untitled Duckland.
But yeah, Wolf had actually recommended this game for gaming in Ties already, so it's making the rounds.
That's good. It's like it should be getting more attention because like the more gameplay I've seen of it, the more I'm just like, okay, I really want this game. Just because it's like something like I like games where if I have some downtime, I can just play it a little bit and just like kind of get immersed in it even for a little bit, and then it's not like I have to go. Like I still haven't finished Kingdom Hearts 3. Now I gotta.
Sometimes you
like
need
I have not had time to go back into it, and it's like
sometimes
it bums me out.
Yeah, sometimes you probably just need a more smaller, casual game and not this big epic.
Exactly. So wherever you're looking for a nice, casual-looking game that's not hard to you can finish it in one go if you wanted to. It would be Untitled Goose Game. And then in terms of new media, I have been paying attention to trailers, so I have some trailers to discuss. First of all, let's talk about Frozen 2, shall we?
Wait, I mean, I actually... No, I actually am trying not to watch the trailers for Frozen 2. I want to go in blind.
Also, just because Key and I both did multiple medias today doesn't mean that it's obligatory.
Maybe she wants to, Max.
But I also don't want to have spoilers.
If you want to avoid spoilers,
yes,
then I guess...
Okay, say the other trailers that you had, because maybe it's stuff we wouldn't mind.
Because I want to watch Frozen
Am I gonna be the garbage trash to say Has-Been dropped their trailer on Friday? Their last one. Okay, they announced...
I did watch that trailer.
It was very much off. Let's flick.
It is very rapid fire, and I know that's like something where not everybody likes that style. I know you kind of have to put a seizure warning before putting up a trailer like that. But if it's anything, it does truly build up hype. Like the music sounds really solid. The score.
Let me put up a little bit of music, even so you guys cannot hear. Very epic, like dum.
Like it's choreographed. Oh, the sound's not coming up.
No, not for you.
For the stream it is. For us,
the stream can hear
it. The stream it is? Yes. Okay, I'm like, I can't hear it.
I mean, you probably watched it 3 times by now and can remember the music.
Yeah, I can.
I knew it.
Probably, I've watched it an obscene amount of times just to try and catch all the little nuances, just everybody trying to piece together what the heck is even going on.
All I know is that I see Alistair singing, so I know that some people will be happy.
And that was something. And that was, I'm like, when I saw the neon colors, I'm like, the black light, like, oh my god, he's getting a musical number.
Y'all are trash!
But it was just like, because I think the thing is, I've been paying attention to especially to Ashley Nichols streams for a while now, and they've been really good at keeping a lot of things under wraps. And I know a lot of people asked if he was ever going to have a musical number, and they were going, can't say. I don't know. It's like not saying it is, not saying it isn't. I'm not going to say.
No, if they say can't say, that usually means yes.
Yeah, but it's also the whole point of like that it can go either way. It's just like some people, because there's also red herring answers which get people excited about one thing, and then sure enough it's like, okay, they doesn't have a musical number.
They just pull like the Let It Be in Yesterday, where they just play the beginning of Let It Be like 3 times, and you never actually hear him sing the full song.
Yeah, exactly. So with this show, and with the trailer dropping, we finally did get a release date for this show, which they said, it's sometime in October. We're hoping if everything goes well, everything's finished. So October 28th is we officially have a release date for the pilot, which I'm hoping
There it
and
is.
we have it, October 28th. It should be on Vivzy Pops' channel.
And when YouTube gets a DDoS and it's down for the entire day.
Exactly. So that's a day to really look forward to.
But, yeah.
And I know I've been telling a lot of people about it because there's so many that still don't know. And I'm
really?
like, but it's got a huge following. It's gotten over years of it too.
Yes.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I'm excited.
I was subscribed to Vivzy Pop before she started that project. But
were you subscribed because of the furry Die Young video?
Of course.
I was subscribed before that.
So yeah, it's cool to see how everything is changing. As plus, there's all the people who have seen like the character designs change over the years, like how Alistair looks different then than he does now, and it's like, and then just seeing how personalities even change. So for all the people who have been following for a long time, you get to compare and be like, okay, maybe they've completely 180'd these characters from what we originally saw of them. So, but we don't know. We have to watch to find out. So I think I'm excited that there's a lot that's been developing for that. So
I'm surprised.
Wishing all the best.
I'm surprised the trailer you didn't say was the fact that Steven Universe Future. Have you not seen it yet?
Universe Future.
Little
Dorito.
to give context to people who don't obsessively look at Steven Universe stuff, they announced that the final season of Steven Universe is actually a limited run series. Like, that's called Steven Universe Future, that takes place explicitly after the movie, so 16-year-old Steven. And they released the theme song sequence for it. And oh my god, it's great, and I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's actually done by a Studio Trigger animator who animated the other friend sequence and the fighting sequence between Steven and Spinel in the movie.
Nice.
So yeah, you watch it and you're like, yeah, this was done by someone else. Like, this was done by someone in Japan. But like, it's so good. I don't think we can show it because I feel like Cartoon Network probably have our asses. But like, the opening has like the diamonds in it and everything, and Spinel's on Yellow Diamond's shoulder, which means we're gonna see her again, and I'm so fucking happy because she didn't reform back to her little heart pigtails, and I'm like, yes.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness she looks, though it does look like she got rid of the tear marks, which is like good. You're happy.
She's like in the middle now.
She's in between. She's happy, but she's changed, and I'm fine with that.
I guess I can still put the link to the
it's good.
trailer in the description below. So, and since we are already getting very, very forward, and we have lots of questions.
Okay, what's your
I will keep it short if I find it. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I didn't talk about Final Space. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh yeah, Ready or Not.
Ready or Not, especially since people in my Discord, link down below, were like, oh, Ready or Not, we don't hear anybody talk about it because Joker came out. And I'm like, well, Joker only comes out in Germany next week, so this week I have Ready or Not to watch. Even so, it's already like super sad. Only one screening per day at night at 11. But hey, it was Saturday yesterday, so I went there and I watched it. It's an interesting one. So first of all, I would say it's a good movie. Not like must see movie, but it's not trash. So it's good. It has tension. It has humor. It doesn't have. If you watch the trailer for it, it feels like very much on the comedy angle. And it is for large parts, but it also leaves the comedy path, and it goes at times like very serious thriller and psycho. And I was there with Rafi yesterday, and Rafi described this very nicely as that sometimes it goes a little bit Saw, like torture porn. You see like something happening.
Are you considering putting up the spoiler alarm?
Yeah, I mean it doesn't give any. I don't give any context. It's just like you see a person climbing up a ladder, And before you show the person starting to climb up the ladder, there is one close-up of a standing out nail on the top of the ladder. And Rafi and I both were sitting there. No, please don't. No, don't. And it's a painfully long and extended climbing up the ladder. And of course, at the last moment, like, bam! And they went there with sound effects in this movie. They have a lot of very wet sound effects.
Squish.
Exactly. So this is a very clear warning about this movie. When it doesn't go a
Does
zombie
anyone's
movie.
face melt?
Wait, no.
Okay, Lauren, you can watch it.
Yay! I can handle it then.
But it does those very painful close-up of real injuries, but it also does over the top. You don't have organs flying around, but it gets very bloody. Like it's more slasher than gore, I would say. Like fountains of blood. So the tone is a little bit irritating because it starts very, very like a dark comedy, but in between it sometimes felt for long pieces there were no real jokes, and it was just like, ow! But yeah, acting was good. You had a surprisingly small cast. I mean, you basically see everybody who is in the movie right now. On the poster. Wait, where's the butler? There's the butler. Yeah, everybody. This is the entire cast you see on this poster, which is, I was surprised during the credits when there was like cast over. Like, oh, why? Yeah, interesting.
No real big names either.
No, not too big. That's true. I believe the dad is actually a known face, but a little bit of a aged one. So who should watch it? So you need to have a very dark comedy, humor. You need to be a little bit hard when it comes to those pain moments. Like Keyframe's reaction earlier was everybody in the cinema was like, ah, you, especially. And the nail scene is definitely the worst, but there are other scenes where I was saying like, why, stop this. Rafi could confirm. Like,
Stop,
exactly.
Dead.
No, that's the problem. That we're still alive. I mean, there's something about the ending where it was a little bit WTF, where watch it for yourself and find out what the WTF is. But if anything I mentioned to you does on the one hand intrigue you but not scare you off, I would say give it a watch. It's original enough that it deserves attention. And because I wanted to keep it short, because we still have questions, that's what I'm going to say about it. And I guess I linked the trailer, which is very misleading because the trailer makes it look far too much like an unbloody comedy, while it is very bloody thriller with occasional dark humor. Questions, I believe.
Can I just say, though, he put up a vlog, and he says in the vlog, on the little caption for it, sorry if it sounds weird, I had to speed it up to fit Twitter's thing. It doesn't sound like you were sped up at all. That just sounds like normal you. I don't know who you were fooling.
I mean, it was only, I only sped it up to 109%, so only a little bit, but...
Still, you're a much faster talker than you give credit for. Anyway, I'm guessing we didn't get any Twitter questions?
Oh, we do. Oh, we got plenty of Twitter questions.
We do have questions.
Oh, plenty of them. Wait, how to... there's one that's probably more for you guys than for me. Maybe I can chime in as well. From Manga Jack. Who is your favorite animator?
James Baxter. James Baxter, for people who don't know, if you watch like the Change Your Mind sequence of Steven Universe, he animated Steven fusing with Pink Steven and that turnaround with White Diamond, and which was all animated on paper. None of it was CG. And oh my god, it was great. And also, if you've seen Adventure Time, he animated and voiced James Baxter the horse.
James
Baxter.
He just likes to make people happy.
Baxter.
Exactly. But that's my favorite. What about you, Lauren?
It's like asking for my favorite children. I like too many, and it's like James Baxter is one. James Baxter's absolutely one of them. God, and it's probably gonna make me sound ridiculous, but because I'm like, oh, of course you would say that. I love Don Bluth's animation. It's so like he is a master at his craft and legendary in his skill. To be able, I think it's because of how much he pushes expressions. That's one of my favorite things about drawing characters is the expression. And when he has a character looking frightened, he pushes them being scared. He pushes them being angry. The snarls, the gritting teeth, and it's like yeah. So it's like it's just everything about him.
I feel like I'm distracting her a bit.
It's just like, yes, do you have something to say to the class?
Yes, your points are all very good, especially about the expressions. Here's my question. Do you think Don Bluth has a war fetish because of how much he loves to draw big mouths?
Well, children, there goes your childhood. Hashtag don't Google war. Hashtag I dare you.
Anyways, but yeah, so sorry to interrupt you, Lauren. It's just when I hear Don Bluth, I had a conversation with Chris once about it, and I'm just like, oh, no, I can't get that out of my head. Thanks. But what about you, Max? Do you have a favorite animator?
I have no clue who is animating what I watch. I love a lot of good animation, but I have no idea who is behind it, so...
His favorite animators are the ones that animate all the sexy girls. James Baxter, I think, actually animated Chell in Road to El Dorado. So, or was that Don Haskett?
Then there's Dan's really talented too, and I know him. He's really nice. Dan Haskett animated some sequences in the original in the old version of The Simpsons. There's like some sequences really that are extremely fluid. He animated those, like with the when the kids have the babysitter over, and she's like, "And you're gonna watch this tape," and she's like, and it's like super fluid. That's Dan Haskett's work.
And then right after, Bart is like 4 frames of backing up and sticking. The
and that was it was perfect though for the sake of comedy too, just to show how quickly he's just like, nope. I was gonna say I could throw in some other, there's some Sergio Pablo. He's a really great animator. He's the one that has influenced he's spearheading Klaus right now, and so his style, he's the one that animated Dr. Doppler in Treasure Planet. And then he's really good with something about like the really exaggerated kind of sort of like, you think of the kind of sort of dorky characters they have like over enthusiastic movements. It's like he's really good with that. It's like he conveys body language so well to be able to read what somebody's saying, and that's why like Dr. Doppler is like one of those like fantastic examples of Sergio Pablo's work.
Glenn Keane.
But okay, you got three. I skipped mine, so let's move on to the next question.
All right. Shh. Ruin our fun. You brought an animator onto the cast. What do you think was gonna...
Yeah, and we got a good question.
Okay. Dark Raven asks, favorite Beatles song and album?
Oh, God.
I feel like Max's answer will be Hey Dude.
Hey Jude. No, Hey Dude was right.
Was the Ed Sheeran version.
Oh yeah.
Just to state, people, these are questions that pretty much me and Lauren will have answers to, because I feel like the only exposure Max has ever had to Beatle music was him in Lauren's car when we put on the Beatles station and the movie Yesterday.
But yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, I rather have questions that the guest can give some deep insights, and I am like, I have no fucking clue.
You're the scientist dog that has the caption of, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I mean, at the end of the day, even when we get a good question which I could answer, I usually have trouble coming up with an answer, so I'm thankful for questions that are perfectly not customized for our guests, because I will not have a good answer anyways.
So that's your answer is Nowhere Man.
But yeah, you
but yeah, Lauren,
fangirls.
favorite Beatles song and favorite album.
Okay, I can answer album first, Sgt. Pepper. That's my favorite. I love it just because it was one of those ones where they went just like purely experimental on it, and they went all in on being able to say, let's do whatever we want to do officially. Like, they were transitioning to that point. Sgt. Pepper is the apex of that. So, but for favorite Beatles song, that's harder because it changes constantly. It's like a mood. But I guess
Big mood.
Beatles are big mood. I was gonna say, if I had to pick one, I mean, one I always like to go back to. I know it's like a freaking cover, but it's Twist and Shout. Always makes me feel good and happy.
Oh, the song that John recorded with strep throat?
Yes.
And you can obviously hear that he has strep throat.
The one where he, like, if he had pushed himself any harder, he would not be able to sing anymore, basically. Like, he pushed himself that hard. But you know what? He went that hard for us. You know? He didn't have to, but he did. And so, I mean, that's one I love to go for, even though it's not really their original work. I do like their cover. Everybody knows their cover more than the original. Let's be honest.
There's a lot of stuff that the covers are you're surprised that are covers that are more popular than the original song. But let's see mine. Mine is probably Magical Mystery Tour because one, I love the songs on it, and two, I associate it with the Balls to the Walls movie that had with it, where Paul came onto set one day. And they all were waiting for the script, and he came in with a blank piece of paper, and it's like, we're improving the whole fucking movie.
And it's very obvious they did.
So bad, but it's amazing, and it ends with a strip show. Not of the Beatles, of a random lady.
You haven't watched it?
Oh, it's so good. Mwah. Like, spicy meatball.
Here's what happens when you throw a bunch of random people onto a bus and send them through the English countryside. Shenanigans ensue.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's very high. There's literally a scene where John is dressed as a waiter shoveling spaghetti with a shovel onto someone's plate. When you watch it nowadays, it's kind of like maybe this was the birth of the sense of humor that we have now.
Yes, absolutely.
But favorite song is not from that album. Favorite song is actually I Want You, She's So Heavy. And I won't lie, I probably like it a lot more because of the Across the Universe soundtrack, because I tend to go back to that version a lot. But it's such a simple song. It's literally 12 lyrics, and the song has this end where it just builds and builds and builds, and then it literally cuts off into pure silence, which they did to troll people back in the day because, well, it was on records and vinyl. So people would think that their record stopped or it was skipping. And I'm just like, okay, I respect the meme, John. I respect the meme.
Oh, there is probably one more song I would probably think that I like, and it's actually the acoustic version I prefer, and it's While My Guitar Gently Weeps. The one that you hear on the Love soundtrack for Cirque du Soleil. That version is the one I prefer over the original of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, because it seems more like this is what I envision when you hear a song While My Guitar Gently Weeps. You hear more of like the guitar and its rawness, and it's
you
just
can hear the rawness of George moaning really loudly while playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you were going to say something, Matt?
Yes, I actually did remember that there's one Beatles song that's very close to my heart after all. It's Come Together, the version that plays during Justice League credit scene.
No, can I just explain something? I mentally associated that song with Pain. Not Come Together, the Justice League version, and I've gotten so angry at that version, I will start to get noticeably angrier when I hear it. Because me and this fucker were at Rock and Brews when he visited California in June, and he kind of looked over at one of the TVs playing music videos, and he's like, "Oh, Chrissy, Beatles are playing." I was like, what are you talking about? Look over, see, it's the Justice League version of Come Together. And he had to stop me because I was very close to screaming in the middle of the restaurant because it was actually making me angry. And he was like, don't. And I was like, you started it.
Anyways, to give you a nice topic to feel positive about, Commissar Fox, aka the Magic Cossack, asks, how long have you and Keyframe known each other? And it is a direct reply to Abby, so it's your origin story.
Oh, we've known each other for over 10 years now. We met in a DeviantArt chat room talking about the Beatles. Like, literally, that's how it started. We're like, hey, want to be friends? We'll start talking. And then we started like, hey, I like your art. Hey, I like your art. And then it's like, want to do art trades? Yeah, let's do some art trades. Want to illustrate each other's stories? Yeah, let's illustrate each other's stories. And basically, it was a collaborative friendship that immediately, very quickly spawned into sisterhood. So it was
yeah, me and her have known each other for 11 fucking years. The closest friendships and like the closest relationships I have basically spawned from art. Thinking about you two actually spawned from art things.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Because you were from a chat room and then we did like an art trade. And his was me being like, hey, I like your stuff. Can I do title cards? And then I got into a call with him for like 6 hours. And 5 and 11 years later, they're still here. They won't leave. And I don't know why.
We have squatters' rights.
Squatters' rights. Sorry, we, after a certain amount of time, we're just obligated to this friendship.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's the origin story.
Yeah. Do we have more on the Discords?
Oh no, we still got a good part of questions. Goth Judy asks, I had a great question prepared for today, but this headache ain't helping. What's the most inconvenient time for sickness in your opinion? Or I guess maybe it could also be, what was the most inconvenient time you've been sick?
Oh, yeah, that's probably easier to answer. Because I'm like, I just wouldn't want to be sick at all.
During the most, at least the part that pissed me off the most that I was sick was back when I was a kid. It must have been like 6th or 7th grade. And I was not feeling well. I couldn't talk. And I went to the nurse's office and they saw spots in the back of my throat. So they thought it was strep. So they sent me home from school. And then we went to the free clinic. They were like, oh, you don't have strep. Here, give us $70 and here's a prescription for like Robitussin or some cough medicine shit. 2 days later, not only did I have strep, I had an ear infection in both ears. And this was right before Christmas break. So all through Christmas, I was in bed sick. Let me just say, Christmas sucks when you're sick because no one wants to be around you. They just put the presents at your door and leave.
Oh.
Yeah, so Christmas.
I would say when you just got somewhere, like arriving at work, like you make your way there, you arrive in the office, you're like, I can't do it after, and you have to turn around and go back. Or what I had actually to also dug into my in my childhood. What actually happened to me that, oh god, what's the English name for it? So I was at a boarding school, as I mentioned. And so I get... Ooh, that's a weird name. What? Okay, that's an interesting one. So I got... This was like an hour and a half ride from home. So my parents drive me there in Sunday evening and drop me off so I can be there for classes on Monday morning. And... well, they dropped me off just for me to basically realize, I don't know, even either the same evening or the next morning or something, that I had rubella, which is apparently also known as German measles. How fitting. And I'm not sure if my parents came the very same evening back or if they picked me up the next morning, but it was basically like more or less instantly like turn around.
Were you not vaccinated for measles?
Oh, that's a fun story. So my parents are anti-vaxxers. No, they're not. My parents are doctors.
I was about to say.
No.
Are you?
My parents are doctors. They have 4 children. I'm the last one. And they were like, yeah, of course, all our children are vaccinated. And then when I got rubella, they were like, we are so fucking convinced that, obviously they didn't say fucking, but they were like, we are so convinced that we are doctors, so of course our children are vaccinated. But we were so in this mindset that we forgot to vaccinate.
Forgot to vaccinate Max.
Yes.
Oh my god.
How have you survived this long?
And after that, it was basically like, okay, wait until the rubella is over, and then like, okay, we couldn't find the original vaccination pass, so give him one of those multi things, like the one against all, like, bam, in there.
Fucking put a nuke in your arm. Oh, no.
Well,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not, but it's fantastic.
It's like it's fantastic.
I'm just so glad that it was like right before. Were you in school for a period of time before they discovered you had measles, or?
No, I really, they brought me there. I believe, I'm not even sure if we discovered some minor symptoms and we're like, that's nothing. And then they dropped me off and it escalated the very evening, and the employees at the boarding school were like, yeah, this doesn't look good. Maybe he needs to go home.
We don't want an outbreak. Oh my god, that's fantastic. What about you, Lauren? I don't think you can top your parents forgetting to vaccinate you for measles.
No, I will simply just share a story. I'm not going to try and one-up anything. I just know they're I guess I could say a more recent situation was when I was at BronyCon and I didn't realize that I had been developing allergies. Now, I didn't grow up with allergies. And I started having these coughing fits early July. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of annoying. Maybe I have allergies, but they'll pass. Weeks go by. I'm still coughing. And I'm like, what's the issue? I mean, and I'm like, I don't feel sick. Like, it's just like a cough that's just annoying me. And I remember I went to BronyCon and I realized once I got to BronyCon, I mean, I was still kind of sort of coughing a little bit, but it was like almost like nothing was happening there. I'm like, okay, like maybe I'm okay. Like maybe that's just what it is. It's just allergies. And then I'm like away from those pollens. But you remember I was coughing at night too, Key, when I was like sitting there and I'm like, I swear to you, I'm not sick. And then I came home from that trip, and I mean, nobody got sick from me. I mean, so it wasn't what I was sick. So I finally go to an allergist, and they tell me, oh, you have we do all these tests on you. You're allergic to a few different little pollens and things like that, but it's so minimal. The thing is, we had a super bloom this year in California, so everything bloomed like crazy. And so it all hit me at the same time. And now I know I'm allergic to all these different little things, but normally I would not even feel them. But because of this year, everybody that had allergies was freaking dying and suffering because of freaking pollen going nuts.
Bring us the dead trees. Bring me the sweet release of winter.
And then I had to be on two different inhalers, and one of those was kind of like one of those corticosteroid inhaler kind of things, and then the other one's a rescue inhaler just in case. That does nothing. And then
it's a rescue inhaler. It does nothing.
After doing that, I was it was 3 weeks into using the corticosteroid one. I was starting to get aches all over. Suddenly I was super sensitive and in just pain all upper body. No matter what, I could tap my cheek and it was sore. As if I'd given my entire upper body a workout and all the muscles were sore, but I didn't do that. That's how horrible it was. I finally
You're suddenly super ripped, and it's what's your training method? Asthma.
So it was so I think it just coming back to when it was inconvenient to be sick, it's just it was not even so much sick, it was just my body being ridiculous with allergies, and I didn't know because I didn't grow up with allergies. So I was just scared of what I was actually experiencing. I'm like, do I have walking pneumonia? Do I have I'm not
have the Black Plague?
So it was now I'm completely 100% okay, breathing fine off that medicine, so I'm not sore anymore. But that was incredibly inconvenient because it was getting in the way of my work. It was getting in the way of BronyCon. I was please don't, don't avoid me. I'm not sick. I swear. It's just allergies, and I just don't know how else to cope.
Boy.
So what's a Twitter question?
I just want to say, thankfully, I have another wholesome Twitter question. I'm not sure what's going on. Twitter is apparently very positive vibes recently. Jessica McCartney asks, favorite Disney movie? I would say let's exclude Pixar.
Well, no shit. Pixar is not Disney.
Exactly. But people
Disney
like to. Exactly. So, favorite Disney movie? Do we allow CG or only classic animation?
I guess you could say your favorite 2D and your favorite CG.
Okay.
Because mine is literally a fight between a 2D and a CG movie.
Okay, then what are yours then?
Moana, and it's a fucking tie between Hunchback of Notre Dame and Emperor's New Groove because I love them for completely different reasons, but they're both, in my mind, equally good. So, yeah. But Moana is probably my favorite of the 2010s Disney movie. What about you guys?
I'm going to say, for me, I enjoyed Moana a lot more than I ever anticipated I would. So I know that sounds like a copycat answer, but it's only because it was one of those things where I remember seeing like the early visual development stuff on it, and I was like, this could be big, this could be huge, and I'm like, I was really excited about it. And I love tiki stuff and Tahitian, Polynesian, like I love just learning about.
You literally own a dress that makes you look like a tiki room.
Exactly. So I'm like all about that. So I was really excited to see where they would go with it. I'm glad they did what they did with it. And so, and just visually, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. And then for 2D, that's even tougher because I love Lion King. I feel like that's a default answer, but then in terms of just where they really just went outside of what they usually did was Amber's New Groove. Also, Cusco's the princess.
Yeah, baby.
Cusco is the sass master, and that's a huge part of the reason I love him as a character is that he's just a pain in the ass, and I completely imperfect, and I love him for it.
Why do we love characters? Why do we love characters that are assholes? Does that reflect in real life?
It does, doesn't
it? And what's yours, Max? I don't want to think too deeply anymore.
Yeah, now I'm actually trying to figure out...
Are you looking through the list of Disney movies?
No, I'm just trying to remind myself which animated movies were Pixar and which were Disney, because they are so... It's sometimes tricky to keep them apart.
The Toy Story franchise, the Cars franchise, the Monsters Inc. franchise.
I now have
Brave.
a list in front of me, so we don't need to do this. And this list tells me that my favorite CG movie is Zootopia.
Yeah, that's Disney.
Exactly. And from the classic animated ones, I mean, I absolutely love The Emperor's New Groove, but I mean, back in the day at least, I maybe it has the same effect that if I would rewatch it nowadays, like Beauty and the Beast, where I was like, wow, this is actually not really that exciting. I tried watching Beauty and the Beast, the original, not the remake. Forget about the remake. But I tried to watch it on Netflix a while ago, and I didn't make it all the way through because I don't know. It was so. Maybe I'm too much of a millennial by now. The pacing was too slow.
You can't sit through 2 Samurai Jack episodes without needing to watch something else. You have just a short attention span.
But yeah, I would say Lion King. I loved it back in the day. I probably need to rewatch it nowadays if it still holds up. But I recall watching this up and down back in the day, and might still do the trick.
Aladdin's better. Better.
Aladdin is also fantastic. That's true.
I love the music in Aladdin for sure. Like and Genie being one of the greatest.
The animation and visuals in Aladdin is better than Lion King. Come fight me, Lion King stands.
Take that back.
You know what? At least Aladdin actually had a good live action movie.
No, I cannot deny that the live action remake of Aladdin, I like what they did with it. I mean, not everything, but I like at least some of the things they did.
So good.
I mean, hey, what's your favorite Disney remake? We haven't answered that question.
Jungle Book.
I believe I have.
I can give genuine answers for that. I don't automatically hate every Disney live action movie.
problem is, I think I saw Jungle Book, and I'm like, somebody's like, yeah, you watched it. I'm like, did I? I kind of forgot that I did.
How can you forget Christopher Walken Monkey?
That's the only part I remember. That's the problem.
Wait, was Wreck-It Ralph a Disney or
Wreck-It Ralph was Disney?
Not Pixar. Okay.
Yeah, can't you see by the fact the sequel was definitely not as good as the first one? It's a Disney movie.
I mean, some people throw Toy Story into the mix after all, even though we just said it was Pixar. So I now was confused. But no, it doesn't change my answer because I like Wreck-It Ralph, but still Zootopia. Okay,
this is a question from Enigma. If you were to become a dog, what breed of dog would you be? Also, just for Keyframe, would you be which Jenna Marbles dog would you replace? So which one I would turn into?
So that's an interesting question. So are you going to be whatever Kermit is, or
I don't want
Italian Greyhound or Beagle?
No, here's the thing. If I were just to transform into a dog, I would become a Beagle Basset Hound mix. So I have the best of both worlds. I have the ultimate floppy ears, and everyone would want to pet me. And by everyone, I mean everyone like me. But if I were to replace a Jenna Marble dog, and you two can probably fill in these too. If I were to become one of Jenna Marble's dogs, I'd probably pick Marbles because I get congratulated for doing absolutely nothing. He's a bag of dust.
This sounds more like wish fulfillment. I want to just sit there and be congratulated for being there.
I have, all I need to do is just sit there with my tongue out to the side like, and then I get called cute. I don't need to, I can be given treats for not being able to sit on a hardwood floor. And I get to wear, and they get to buy me cute clothes. Like, why? So why would I be the two that act like pure dogs? The one that cries and gets called nasty all the time? Or the very tall giraffe that is their rescue greyhound? No, I'm going to think the smart game. I'm going to be the 11-year-old Chihuahua, which also, Chihuahuas can live up to be 20 years old, so I have staying power. And I can be congratulated for being dumb.
Yeah, I still call wish fulfillment. Okay, what kind of dog would I be? Probably some kind of mutt, like but my sister's asshole dog. So he's also an indestructible dog. He's a bit on the taller end. It's just like he's not even pretty. He's just an asshole. His dog race is officially asshole. No, but I don't. Okay, trying to go with an actual existing race. I don't know. Is there a race I identify with? Not really. I mean, I'm thinking like the big ones, like Saint Bernard. I'm not that kind of like in myself. Balanced, whatever you call it. I'm missing words right now. I have English words, German words, but I cannot come up with the English words ones. But I also like small Jack Russell, those kind of. I'm not that energetic anymore. In my younger years, I probably would have been a Jack Russell. Nowadays, I don't know, like the kind of dog who doesn't big enough to not give a shit and just do his own business.
Like a lab, like just an old lab.
Yeah, but labs are more like an old lab. Okay, I can go with old lab, I guess. I mean, labs are also not the smartest, and they are like those. They are those never growing up infinite children. Damn it, shit! Now I feel called out. There, Lauren. How about your dog breed?
I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Given my dog, the dog that I have looks like
your lawnmower that has legs.
Oh, Phelps doesn't eat grass. Liberty did.
Yeah. Okay, so its mom did, but yeah. Okay. So
the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. I mean, mostly just because I just see myself and I'm like, I can't be any other dog. It would be a Spaniel of some sort, probably a Cavalier.
I like the idea of you needing like a headband like you do with Phelps when he drinks water, so his ears don't get
snoots, where you have to keep long ears out of your water bowl.
Yeah, I think since this show has been going on long, we should get to our favorite section of the show.
That's fair.
Fuck, marry, kill. You may want to pull up an image of the Beatles because I feel like for this one we may need you to give you visual reference for the less Beatley inclined.
Okay, I'm trying to find a representative one. They all look the same.
No, they don't. Okay, from the Mad Lad, who is also a wolf, asks.
They do.
Did you? No, they. First, okay, yes. When you pick the era where they are all meant to dress the same, let me get you a Beatles picture.
That was their manager's idea too, so I'm just.
Yeah, no. Okay, let me read the question first. Did you guys know that Ringo Starr's real name was Richard Starkey? What's that? You did? Well, shit, I didn't. Fuck, marry, kill. Ringo Starr, John Lennon, and Paul McCartney. Something, Yellow Submarine. First of all, man, how dare you misspell Ringo's name?
Also, so did he, since there are 4 Beatles, did he leave out the sexy one or did he leave out the ugly one?
He left out George Harrison, who's
the
one on the far right in that picture. Right. But let me get like a picture of them when they actually had individualism.
Yes, please do so.
This one. Oh wait, no, it's Rubber Soul. Lauren, you can go first. You actually know what they look like.
Okay. Jeez.
That's actually a good idea. You two go first with your explanations, and maybe from those explanations I can come up with my own.
Honest to God, this is tough. Ringo's probably the Mary, because let's just be honest, that was my first Beatle crush, and you are very much aware
I am very much aware.
Very much aware. Early on, I was like, Ringo, oh my God, he's so cute. Like, I wish I could marry him if it wasn't like the freaking huge age gap, and that he was also still married.
It was like, yeah, at some point they were all married.
Yep, they all have been married at least once. But with Ringo, he's funny and he's sweet, he's unproblematic. Literally all the other Beatles saw him as like the mediator of everyone else because he was the one that didn't try to go out and cause bullshit.
Isn't like the cutest story is that he momentarily quit the band. They asked him back, and when he came back and the entire drum was covered in flowers because they didn't want to leave him.
Exactly. I'm like, see, that's why I'm like, he's a precious being. And I like, oh, why would you want, no one want to hurt him. So he's like the Mary type.
Okay, yeah, what's fuck?
Fucking kill. That's why I think it's kind of funny that fucking kill are the only 2 options left when you have John Lennon as one of the options. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I mean, you could also fit George. Okay, good thing George isn't an option, or else that would be double oof.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's why I was like, how dare you narrow it down to the 3 where one of them is like, well...
How would you kill George Harrison too? Would you just give him more cigarettes to make his cancer go faster? Like,
oh no.
Oh, but yeah, so Paul and John fucking kill.
I don't know, man. That's hard. It's hard.
I feel like this should be easy for you. I thought you would pick John for fucking.
I know, but then it's like, why would I want to? I mean, I know Paul's my least favorite, but I wouldn't want to kill him.
So.
That argument. Yeah, I'm mostly because I never really had a crush on Paul, so maybe Paul would be the one I'd kill, and then John would be the fuck.
Okay, now that we have a proper image, who is who?
Okay, from left to right. Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, George Harrison, and the one laughing his guts out is John Lennon.
Okay. Oh yeah, he looks like the actor in the movie yesterday.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I guess me. Ringo, Paul, John. I guess marry Paul because it seems like there's stability there. Like it just seems like, you know, he knows what he wants to do. Both Ringo and Paul, being the ones that are still alive, seem to know what they want to do with their lives already.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still making albums and going on tour and stuff, so at least, you know, being married to either of them, you're going to have an eventful life.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice way to put gold digging.
It's not gold digging. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm frozen.
Oh yeah.
There we go. No, I'm back. It's not gold digging. I don't want a boring person that's retired. Like that. So probably Paul. Paul seems like fun. I'm gonna kill Ringo.
Well, more
he lived a full life, and also he's just not my type. And fuck the Lennon boy. He won't be able to tell the tale afterwards.
Oh no.
It's funny because he got shot.
Stop.
What? I'm not making any jokes that every other dark humor comedy hasn't made. Why do you think in Yesterday when they ask how old he is in the year like 82, he's like, wow, that's fantastic. Like, but yeah, I would fuck John. He seems like fun, and many reports call him a crazy man, like fucking a transvestite and all that stuff. So I think he'd be down to clown with anything.
They did say he like the most experimental. Like he was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. I try that. Let's go do this. And then Paul was always the one that's like, no, maybe we shouldn't. And he's like dragging Paul by his ankles into everything else. Like
exactly. John seems like a fun one to down to clown, but I feel like that amount of craziness will get old at some point.
Yeah.
Ask his ex-wife, like, you know. So, but yeah. He'll eventually cool down, but too little, too late. But yeah, that's my choices. What about you?
Okay, so
swine?
John was on the right.
John is the one with the poofy jacket.
Ringo on the left.
Ringo has the black one.
Ringo second on the left.
Ringo is
Ringo's in the second.
Paul is the one closest to the camera.
Okay, Paul's in the green jacket. Paul is a green jacket. Okay. And the red one, nobody. The red one is
the red one is
George Harrison. How dare you?
Look, Frank Sinatra called his song one of the best love songs and attributed it to Paul and John. So he really is invincible.
I mean, this picture looks like it was colorated after the fact.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, in this case, I don't have to feel bad about
it's the 60s.
Killing Blue Jacket, because this is an absolutely atrocious jacket.
You're killing Paul?
Apparently.
For a jacket?
I mean, I could also kill Blackie for his nose. Because this is a weapons requirement.
Superficial man that you sound like now.
I literally have nothing but the appearance to go by.
That's
literally have nothing.
So you're gonna so you're gonna kill Mr. Paul McBluejacket.
Exactly. Because I'm not that superficial. Because I could also be like, whoa, this guy has a giant ass nose, but that would be like, hey, it's not his fault that he has a big nose, but this guy put on this jacket by himself, so it's his own fault. So I'm killing him for a decision he made himself, or he let his manager do for him.
Okay, now you still have fucking Mary.
Exactly. I mean, the nose dude seems like a more stable
Ringo.
one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Seems like a more stable. What instrument was he again?
Drummer.
Okay, no,
Paul was the bass player. Ringo was the drummer. George was lead guitar. John was secondary guitar.
Okay, so. Drummer. Okay, I just instantly changed what I wanted to say. Now I'm going to fuck the drummer because he probably has a good beat and everything to offer. And however, a second guitarist is like, hey, he has no problem with being second with me. Like I don't have to fight for dominance. So therefore, I will marry the frou-frou guy, and he seems to be fun to be around. So this works.
Oh, me and Lauren are just
line of logic I've ever heard.
I just like the idea of like Paul McBluejacket, black coat, big nose star, and John like Lenfluff or something. Like just I like the fact that you didn't even try with the names.
I'm back with names and faces. But hey, I mean but however there are two names I do remember, and among others. So I also know that you are Abby and you are Chrissy. So I'm God, now I mix actually nickname with real life name. Oh no, this is not going well.
What is reality?
I meant Lauren and Key. No, sorry. Okay, this one was. No, I remember the names Katie and Will, because we already know our guests for next week, which is rare enough. And what they...
Did you want to say something about this, Lauren?
Yes.
Yes, we both, because we are both members of the street team.
Yes. So yeah, they'll be coming next week to talk about this for sure. It's basically what they're doing is they're fundraising for a horror short film that they're making, and they're going to run it through horror film circuits and everything, run it through all these film festivals. And but what they got to do is obviously they got to raise the funds to make that a reality. And it's basically a short film about there's like a cautionary tale about a stalker, or about a man and his stalker.
Yeah, a lady stalker.
Yes, and the basically the dangers of stalking. And so it's, if anything, it's almost like, I guess you could say, while being a dark humor short film, it would also be kind of an awareness thing as well. And I know that it's been something that they've been developing for a while now, and have really been trying to push for this. And so, they're in the middle of trying to raise funds for it. And I know they were trying to reach they were supposed to try and get 100 new backers within the next, basically by the end of today. I think they said they were going to try, if they have 100 new backers in their lineup, another one of their backers would be able to pitch 2,000 more towards their campaign. So, if you haven't checked them out, that's the Only You movie, and they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, below. Yep, check out the link below, and you can go and donate there. There's a lot of really cool perks that come with the different tiers of donating, and and it's basically it's all rapid fire stuff, trying to make sure we're trying to get the ball rolling on everything really quickly. So obviously
But yeah,
fast forward momentum.
The gist of it is the fellows who are about to or are working towards producing their own indie horror movie are on the show next week, and I put the link below so you can check out the project for yourself, and then come back next week and hear the people talk about it. Something like that.
And hopefully other things.
Hopefully too, yes. Otherwise it would be very... Somebody, please. Help me.
Awkward.
Thank you.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward cast. Artwork and analysis, which you do not want to miss on awkward.